What is up, everybody? Welcome here on Austin 316. It is your AEW Revolution review here on the Sports Jedi Network. I am your host, PGH ChrisTV, and here we are going to talk about AEW Revolution. Before we get into that, I want to thank our sponsors here, G Fuel Energy. Use code PGH Chris to save yourself 20% off. That is Blackout Coffee. Use code Sports Jedi to save yourself another 20% off Blackout Coffee. And of course, Dude Wipes. We are always powered by Dude Wipes. Dude Wipes in the Sports Jedi Network, always wiping out the competition. Hey, we have been with Dude Wipes before WWE. Always remember that. And we got a lot to talk about. All right. But before we get into this, I'm not alone. You guys are used to seeing me here on the AEW reviews. But today, this afternoon, I am joined here by the founder and the host of the Sports Jedi Network, my good friend, my guy, BX Sports Jedi. Kev, what's up, my guy? Whoa, what's up?
That's the bottom line, because I'm joining you today.
I got my 316 shirt on here. I'm repping, guys. I'm not alone. We got a surprise here. We got our founder in the building here to join me on some AEW Revolution. What up, Kev? How are you, man?
I'm good. I'm ready to have a conversation about this show last night.
Yeah, I normally like to break down the matches from start to finish. I'm not doing that today. I'm going to start off with this. Just to overall review of the show real quick, because there is one specific topic I am going to start off with. If you guys saw my social medias, you guys know the topic. But I want to start off with this, just in real quick. I actually thought last night's show was very, very, I don't want to say very well done, because I am going to complain about the same thing I complain all the time. I didn't listen to anybody's review stuff yet. I did not do all that. I listened to a little bit of Busted Open, but I really been thinking about what I'm going to say on this show all day, because I stayed up till 12:30. I watched the entire show from the pre-show till the end, and I really liked what I saw. I thought until the Thekla match, until the Women's World Championship match, that the show flowed out very, very well. This is my complaint with the entire pay-per-view. It's my only real one. It's too fucking long, and excuse my language, but there is no way here on the East Coast that this pay-per-view should be ending at 12:30. If this was on a Saturday night, I still think it's kind of ridiculous. Okay, they should have stopped doing this in 2023. I am not a big fan of it, but if they were going to do this on a Saturday, I think us and myself, whatever, wouldn't be as about just the entire length. I don't think that becomes a real issue. Now, you could have cut off those three matches you had before, in between the women's match and right before the main event, and I think this show would have went out much more smoothly. But before I go to anything else, Kev, this is still a problem for me in AEW, bro. Like, I thought that I hate that is my complaint every single time that they have a great pay-per-view, because I thought last night rocked. I thought it was really, really good stuff. And then you get to that women's match and you're like, dude, why isn't the main event next? There's no way this show should be going on until 12:30, dude. No way.
That's the problem. You have a 0 hour where you don't get invested in Sean Taylor production. Who are they? If you're a WWE sicko that watches Dynamite, and do you really know who Sean Taylor production is? I mean, did you need that? Did you need where we're seeing now a lot of the talent saying, it's not on me why I'm not being booked? Pretty much, I paraphrase all the different talent.
Baker and Guevara said that, yeah.
But then when you have Willow and Cross wrestle twice, when you have people are fighting and jockeying for wrestling position with matches that you could have had on your television, that's the first issue. You should have not even done that. If you would have taken that off shave a little bit here there, you would have been respected, or started at 6:00. What was the problem at 3:00 Pacific time and 6:00 Eastern time? What was wrong with that?
They see nothing wrong with it, because this show didn't end until 9:30 over there. They're like, oh, it's 9:30, it's fine. But yet, what's gonna happen when Double or Nothing comes in May? I actually might go to that show but they're going to be here in New York, which is the northeast, the eastern, whatever, Eastern time. They're going to really do this again? I mean, granted, it's on a Saturday, but to me, they pick and choose when they want to do stuff. And it's like, again, we're going to say this a lot. I've said this so many times, and I think you're going to agree. As much as I loved Bandito and Andrade, as much as I thought Mystico getting his moment was very cool, you couldn't save that for Dynamite. You couldn't give us a good Dynamite going in. I'm not going to look, Dynamite, the card really hasn't been announced yet. I'm not saying it's going to be bad or not. But you couldn't save like that trios match with Mystico being signed. That should have been your main event on Dynamite. And it's like, it's 10:30 and we're not even in the co-main event yet.
Bro, it was 10:30, and then they play that fucking ballad, that Mexican ballad song. For those that don't know, everyone, and then the fake ass people singing that song. That's a fucking Mexican ballad song. Has nothing to do with wrestling. It's a love story song en español. Es una canción de mierda, de música de amor. No, stop. And they swear, que se equivoca. Bro, when I went to sleep. I said, go fuck yourselves. I'll watch this tomorrow morning.
Dude, I wanted to do the same thing, but hey, I need it.
The song is Que te quiero besar tu boca. I want to kiss your mouth. So that's what Mystico wants to do after winning the triple title. Whose mouth he's kissing? Kevin Knight's or Speedball Bailey? Because he's non-binary.
I mean, no, it's just a lot of things could have been taken out, and I hate that is my complaint every single time. Because, dude, I'm gonna be honest. Until the women's world title match, I thought the show was rocked. I mean, we got a lot of things happen. This is the one thing I've been waiting to talk about all day. And I now that I've gotten that out of the way, let's talk about it. And that is Ronda Rousey. That's Ronda Rousey showing up. Toni Storm and Toni Storm and Marina Shafir had their match. At the end of the match, Toni Storm's out on the stage and she's laying down, whatever. All of a sudden, I'm looking to my left because I'm like, okay, the show's over. I'm like picking some stuff up and I hear the crowd erupt. And I look to my left and I immediately was like, oh my God, like not in a good way, not in a good way. And it's not for the reasons that everybody on Twitter is talking about. And this is my thing. I'm going to say this. Do I like Ronda Rousey coming back to professional wrestling? Absolutely not. And it is nothing to do because of, does she have the COVID vaccine or her conspiracy theories about a school shooting or her political views. None of that shit matters to what I'm about to say about Ronda Rousey. I don't want her back in a professional wrestling ring because she is terrible. She is a terrible professional wrestler. She's the same person not too long ago that went on a bunch of podcasts and not just talked shit about the business, but talked all about us, the fans, and all this and this and that about professional wrestling as a whole. That is why I don't want Ronda Rousey back in professional wrestling, because she sucks. All she knows how to do is do a judo slam, a couple of arm bars, a move or two. Other than that, the only thing, and this is the positive, the only thing that sells Ronda Rousey in 2026 is her name. Why? Granted, she's about to possibly main event the first ever MMA event on Netflix against Gina Serrano? Is that her name? Coming out of retirement. They're both kind of doing whatever. Nate Diaz just got announced for Francis. All this card's stacked. My point is, her coming in AEW last night in the crypto arena, sold out, which that crowd was really good until kind of that, because they booed the shit out of her. They did not want to see her on AEW. I don't think they want to see her in professional wrestling. But my thing is this, and then I want to hear your thoughts about her coming last night. Her name sells it all. I don't care if you hate Ronda Rousey because of whatever reasons you might have. You are going to want to tune into Dynamite, whether you're hate watching it, like some people on Twitter last night accusing me of doing with this show, hate watching it, when I stayed up till almost 1 a.m. watching it and taking notes for this show. Granted, there are going to be people that are actually going to be hate watching just to see what she says. Is she with AEW full-time, which she is not, and Tony confirmed that on the media scrum last night. Her name will sell it. I'm curious to see what she's going to do in that standpoint, but I don't want to see her wrestle. I don't want to see her in a long-term event, anything with this company. again, the name will sell itself. And this might be a hot take because, granted, I'm a fan of Ronda Rousey and her MMA. I am. Don't care too much about the other bullshit. But the name will sell itself. I mean, do you think at that time Becky and Charlotte by themselves main event WrestleMania 35? I don't think if Ronda's included in that match, they don't happen. That's why I think okay, but I don't want to see it, Kev. I don't. What are your thoughts, man? Talk to me.
Look, whatever. I don't care personally. I don't care if anyone does outside of. I don't care if they're translucent, transphobic. Couldn't care less. Care about to get escapists from wrestling. When they get in the wrestling ring, are you going to entertain me? Are you going to cut a promo? Are you going to get me there? If you're portraying a heel, are you the heel that I want to see someone break your teeth? If you're a baby face, are you going to help overcome and make me go home or have my child go home with a smile? As a baby face, I couldn't. Ronda Rousey heard speaking about how she disliked the wrestling business, the bitter bad taste in her mouth, the lack of disrespect for the industry, for the craft. It kind of feels like, okay, she's coming in there. It looks like it's a one-off. I don't think. I think it's a one-off. Maybe a possible collaboration with a couple jobs here and there. Maybe they'll go for the women tag team titles, whatever. Like you said, she has a name value. I don't think they headline main event WrestleMania if she's not part of that triple threat. But that's many years ago. Does it have that cachet?
With her coming back to this fight, if she's not involved in this big fight on Netflix, I think this is. I'm not even giving this. I won't even bring this up. But the fact that she is fighting on this card, I still think she does bring some. Maybe not as much as obviously back then, but I still think she brings at least some.
So let me ask you that they're fighting where again?
Where for the I think in the MMA card.
Where's that? Where's it streaming at?
Netflix.
Who's on Netflix?
That's why
So let me ask Tony Khan. Let me ask this to Tony Khan. How does TKO's dick breath smells like? Because that's what you're doing. You're kissing Ronda Rousey while she has her dick, where she has TKO's dick in her mouth, and now you're gonna smell because that's on Netflix. That's pretty much what I see. Why would you bring someone that's gonna promote Netflix on AEW? Who's where? Oh, let me go to Netflix. Guess what's on Netflix?
On AEW, they didn't do it, but they didn't do it.
They're promoting the fight. They say she's fighting. She's fighting Gina Carano. They
didn't say it on Netflix,
but they're fighting. But come on, Chris. So they're gonna fight. They're gonna fight in the back alley then.
But okay, but when I understand, but I don't see them bringing that up. Even if she again, because they didn't when their biggest star MJF on Happy Gilmore, they didn't mention one single word about it, which was on Netflix. Like
it was a movie. It's a movie.
It was, but they didn't.
This is a fight. What is she? What is Ronda Rousey known for?
MMA and pro wrestling.
Big fight Ronda fighting. Yeah. If she's fighting in Netflix and she's fighting, and they mentioned Gina Carano, they're gonna go watch that fight. Where on Netflix?
That's where they do mention that, and that's where
they mentioned Gina Carano. She has a big fight. Yeah. She's got against Gina Carano. They're not fighting on CBS. They're not fighting on Max. They're fighting on Netflix.
And look, I think we're on the same page because I don't know. I don't want her in there. I think like it doesn't make sense. It makes sense if you want to get some chirps. I do think that what Ronda said on that press conference she did, obviously talking shit about TKO and Dana. Like, of course, this is to stick it at TKO. It's nothing.
It's a petty move.
It's a petty move, and which
they have the right to do.
Everyone's doing it. Everyone's doing it. So
they have the right to do it.
Yes. So it's a petty move. They're doing it, and I hope that doesn't bite them in the ass because if this room with Paramount and all this stuff, dude, this was the business wise. You might get a headline, you might get a couple ratings on your shows, and you might get a good review for this one. But that could bite you in 2 years, in a year and a half. Just saying. And it's not just that Ronda Rousey went on that press conference and talked about, TKO. She was talking about Paramount. She said Paramount gave them the money and
she associated. She threw names out. And then he associated by bringing Opening Arms.
That's the business problem I have with it.
But let me ask you this. They bought Ronda Rousey in AEW. What's anybody? Hello, anybody mentioned to Mercedes? Because last time I saw Mercedes and Naomi both and Trinity walked out of WWE because they didn't want to participate in a 6-woman 6-pack challenge to go up against Ronda Rousey. They didn't want to work with Ronda Rousey. So you bought her in AEW with Mercedes?
Like I said, I think it's like you said. It's probably just a one-off. Maybe. I look, she already teamed with Marina in Ring of Honor, so I don't even see her doing that. Maybe if they want to do a number for Double or Nothing, because that still is before
I think it's tag team.
Wembley.
I think they're gonna do
with Tony Storm and Mina and Marina Shafir. That's the if they do that in Queens, okay, that's gonna get them a big. That's all this is for. It's to stick it to TKO and it's to get them AEW possibly a bigger rating or something successful down the future. That's all it is.
Bro, they're going to copy and paste the Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey. Marina's going to turn on Ronda, and they're going to have their fight, and then she's going to disappear. They're going to copy and paste the same shit.
See it because,
but they're going to do it. This company's copy and pasting everything from the WWE.
And I'm going to tell you why I don't want to see it. Because besides Shayna Baszler, I don't think any of those 4 horsewomen in the MMA succeeded in pro wrestling. Ronda Rousey, again, her name value is the reason why she was a draw.
She got more opportunities than all the
because she was
ladies.
Ronda Rousey. Yeah. Shayna Baszler, I give her credit. I think she's the best women's NXT North American.
And she fought him. She scratched and clawed for every accolade she got in the industry.
And you know what? She actually gives back to pro wrestling. Like she actually gives she stopped. Whatever. I'm taking Shayna out of the equation. Marina Shafir sucks. I've said this on Twitter for multiple years. When she came in with Vicky Guerrero and the crowd booed her ass out because nobody cared. I've said it since that day. She sucks and I don't want to see her anymore. Don't even get me started about Jessamine Duke. You guys remember her? Who? Yeah, I bet your son could really give us a good estimate on Jessamine Duke because he's an MMA guy and I don't know too much about her mixed martial arts career. But I know she sucked when she tried to come to pro wrestling. So I don't want to see any of them. So it's just, I don't know, Kev. I can hear Marina Shafir. Someone says, "You don't know me. You know me. No, you don't know me." Oh my God, Buffalo. My God.
That was terrible.
My God. But I wanted to get in that because I saw a lot of outrage.
It's no matter what. Look, whatever AEW does, good or bad, there's always going to be a different outrage. It's the same thing with Brock Lesnar. She's different. The only thing is she wasn't accused of doing anything immorally to another person. It was more of her words and her lifestyle that people were outraged. But she's just like Brock Lesnar for different reasons. Could it work for AEW? It's a short term that might have longer and deeper repercussions.
Yeah. No, I agree. So I just wanted to start off with that. That's been on my mind for the past since I've been watching the show all day. So just wanted to get into that. So let's get into that.
Let me ask it one before we move on.
Oh, go ahead.
What's going to make it to being a great acquisition? Because I'm going to say this though. Mm-hmm. They're taking a chance of someone a female who could actually move the needle. I hate to say it.
Yeah.
She could actually move the needle.
Oh,
and with all the failed acquisitions that All Elite Wrestling have for many years to come over and thinking they're going to move the needle, this one actually could. For better or worse.
Yeah, and
I got to give that credit.
No, I agree. And again, that's why I'm at least like I said, if you hate her, you love her, whatever, you're going to want to tune into Wednesday or at least see a clip or something. You're going to want to find out what happened if she's involved in anything, if anything is getting announced. So that will sell itself.
My final question to you, because I've been at work about Ronda Rousey.
Yes.
Did today on ESPN, was it mentioned?
I did not.
On first take.
I did not.
Because I ask you because you normally do.
No, it's March Madness. No, they talked about the World Baseball Classic, March Madness. They barely talked about the NFL. No, they didn't. No mention. Okay. And which is strange too because the ESPN covers MMA. They're not. Right. The UFC's not there anymore, so they're not UFC exclusive. So no. And I don't care because if you're a diehard MMA fan. I understand. Maybe I might listen to Ariel Helwani's thoughts about it, but it's something that we'll get into. But Chris Denver, my guy, salute, brother.
And she's
Ronda
got a
Rousey-
fan base. They love her. She's
And
bro.
what Chris just said too, Ronda Rousey is a great view for casual fans. If you're, if you see, I've seen so many things, and Chris, I'll get into me. I'm okay with it. I'm just not a huge fan of my older brother. Yeah, and people like her, people don't. But let me get into your first comment, because she's a great view for casual fans, and I think that's good. I think that's the whole reason that's another reason why I'm not going on a rampage about it, because Ronda Rousey, like, again, if she wasn't involved in this fight, I would not be saying this. But the reality is, she is getting more relevant now than she has been in the last couple of years, especially since her last run in WWE.
That's why I said she's a possible needle mover for better or worse. She could be a possible needle mover for the company. People could watch to see her crash and burn, or she could really succeed and help elevate that women's division. But it goes against the booker now, and there's a lot of egos in the company. Yeah. There is a lot of ego, and
in that women's division.
No, in the whole company. And I'm gonna when we break the review, when you start talking about some matches, I'll tell you why. There's a lot of egos that showed up, manifested itself to 1,000-degree yesterday on that card.
Yeah, no, I you know what? Let me get into the pre-show, and then
go for it. The Costco guy.
And then let's start off with because you know what? There are other things that are really important, and I'm gonna let you, start off that. But let's get into the pre-show real quick. Not much to talk about. There are two things I really want to talk about. I don't give a shit about Willow Nightingale beating Lana Cross. I knew this was going to lead to them losing the tag team titles in the later on in the main show. By the way, Revolution in the crypto.com arena sold out. Tony says it's $1 million gate.
It's not sold out because the building holds 18,000. They sold out to their capacity of their seats.
Right. Yeah.
That they put up.
Yes.
Let's get that correct, because everybody's saying sold out arena. And WWE had 18,000 plus there not so long ago. They sold out to where they was set up for the. That's still good though.
The crowd was hot. Until that Statlander match, the crowd was especially, we'll save that. But pre-show, real quick, the Costco guy, QT Marshall, and Big Boom and Doom versus the Infantry.
Who?
I'm just gonna say this. I think we all want to talk about the best part of the match, and that was Shane Taylor Promotions. I sent you the video. You heard
you didn't upload it? Oh, I wish you would have uploaded it.
Well, I did, but that's when I got accused of hate watching by you hate watching this shit.
You should have put it on here.
That's when I went on the rant. Yeah, I know. I still have it. Maybe I'll put it up here. But I was like, dude, whatever. But that was awesome. That was hilarious. But my thing is this. Was this necessary? Dude, like, what are we doing? And then they won. They win. They actually win the fucking match.
First and foremost, who are they? I don't even know who the hell they wrestled. With so many talents that want television time or opportunities.
They wrestled Sean Dean and Charlie Bravo.
I never heard of those two. Seriously, I didn't know that. They were off getting a local California independent wrestlers to wrestle these two guys. Seriously, I didn't know who the hell they were.
No, Sean Dean and Charlie Bravo are the Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions. This is what this
is. Really? So they lost to a hot dog and a cookie? I'll tell you one thing. The little meatball has a better spirit than freaking Jey Uso.
Oh, my God. Yo, that had me dying laughing. That had me dying laughing. Oh my God, dude, that was terrible. I mean, what are we doing? What are we doing? And then you had that battle royal. I mean, I think they should have just done Jack Perry and Ricochet on Dynamite.
I totally agree with you.
The last couple of weeks they were doing FTR and Jack Perry and all this stuff versus Ricochet was teaming up with and the Young Bucks. Like, come on, they should have just done this on Dynamite.
What's the fascination with this guy? This guy should retire, give up AEW booking, or give up AEW and go open a fucking casino. Everything is a casino, gauntlet, blackjack, 21 blackjack gauntlet.
You should have saved that for Double or Nothing.
Yes. Why? Why did Revolution had to come up with? I mean, why did they needed a casino type of gimmick battle royal here for? and I guess he's saving Ricochet for not getting pinned from the 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
The Rocky Romero's elimination was the funniest. I'm like, you
That yeah,
freaking
that was
geek,
funny as shit. That was
you
funny.
geek. But then I heard that people were upset that it felt like a reverse battle royal, bro. That first hour felt like gas station wrestling.
Yeah. No, seriously, if that was terrible. I didn't. I literally was not paying attention. Once I saw everybody outside of the ring, I was like,
so what was more exciting before that match? Was the kid excited to touch his chin, or was he excited of the tall girl that was there? Because I don't know. He saw the girl was trying to seduce somebody. He was too busy rubbing his chin.
I just think the crazy part is that crowd was hot. You could have, shit inside of the middle of the ring, and I think the crowd would have popped in the beginning of that. They, for some reason, loved that.
They got excited for Wade Brady.
Right, like, oh yeah.
No, with all his feathers all over the place.
I thought he'd be at the Oscars.
Yeah, plumero. Hay un plumero ahí con Wade Brady.
I thought he'd be at the Oscars. But yeah, the pre-show it was.
Oh, speaking of peacocking and feathers and all that. Didn't Dalton Castle look like Hacksaw Jim Duggan?
Oh my god, yo,
oh!
Dude, I saw a couple people on X say that. Dude, I was like, what the fuck?
I can't unsee it. It looks like Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
No, absolutely. Absolutely should have came out with the freaking big ass 4x4. That would have been funny. Oh my god! But that was the pre-show. But
why again did it really need? It's a battle royal. You eliminate somebody. Done. Why did it need to go into the freaking regular show?
Oh, again? I hate that. That's where I was getting at. Thank you, because they go into the show after the battle royal, and they do the same start that they did in Full Gear of last year. Now I said this back then. I think it was Full Gear last year when I first saw it. Okay, cool. We do not need this every single pay-per-view, man. No. I want to see the pyro. I want entrances. I want to get into the first match. Dude, and if you're watching the pre-show free on YouTube, you don't even get to finish the entire pre-show.
They had a lot of issues on Max, by the way.
Yeah, they had a lot. No, they had throughout the entire show, bro. Tony Khan turned off his comments halfway through the show because everybody kept flooding him with Max. I was watching it on Thriller TV. Thriller TV cut down for 3 minutes during the Mystico during the trios match, which there was any time to fucking shut down for 3 minutes. Holy God, it was that. But Thriller TV. The production was great. Had no problems until those other than those 3 minutes.
No, our guy Sleeper Sports Media, Nick, had an issue with was watching it on Max, and he kept tweeting about it on it. But I wasn't watching it on Max. I was watching it on my Fire Stick. So I
was watching it on a VPN on Thriller TV. So I paid $19.99 for the show.
There was a couple of it was black, completely black screen, and I could hear it, but I couldn't see anything. So they had a lot of technical issues.
Yeah, they had a little bit. It was froze. Like I tried to go to the live portion.
Yeah.
Out, and then I gave my phone like 3 minutes, and it popped back up on the screen. So I was like, oh, cool. But yeah, I don't like that start. I don't like that start. They got to stop doing that shit because again, if I'm watching the pre-show, because I watch the pre-show on YouTube, and then I'm like, okay, they got a couple minutes to I got a couple minutes to flip the channel and then go to my Thriller TV. He's on my Thriller TV, and then I switch back, and then it takes a little bit. That's kind of why I hate that. I think Santos, they moved him. So Santos
he's
has
in
been in the
AAA.
Alumni section for a while. Kev can tell you more information, but he's been doing a couple things in AAA, right, Kev?
Yeah, he wrestled this weekend in AAA. He's
this weekend in AAA.
He's in AAA.
He's in AAA. So yeah, we'll see about that. But all right, look, a lot of stuff. Again, I'm not gonna go through the whole thing. There was a lot of this stuff. Really, some of it wasn't important. Kev, what do you want to start off with in this main card?
No, let's go. Let's start with the tag team. Because this is where I gotta say to myself.
Oh, I wanted you to kind of bring up what you wanted to talk about.
There's a lot of selfish, egotistic assholes in that company. And I'm gonna say that like, and it's gonna rub people the wrong way, because what is the main event in the card?
Yep, Texas Death. I agree.
And what's it? What are you expecting in Texas Deathmatch?
Shit ton of blood.
Why the fuck did Nick Jackson had to be selfish and cut himself, blade himself? Because he was down for a long time, blading himself on purpose to
Yep.
take away from the spotlight from the main event, from the Texas Death Match. That's being selfish. That's being super selfish. The Takeshna was a mistake as a black guy. I can see that little bit of a cut of an eye. I'm okay.
He had a
with
black
that one.
eye in the beginning.
Yeah, and then he started bleeding from the eye. That's not a big one. He gets hit, that happens. But him go purposely to cut himself, to blame himself, I was like, you selfish prick. You selfish fucking guys. You can't give your AVPs. You're supposed to be setting an example. The fact that they didn't even freaking lose, they didn't win the tag team titles surprised me. So it felt like they did that on purpose. I'm not gonna win the tag team titles. I'm gonna bleed and take away from the main event because I'm gonna desensitize the people from seeing the blood, because everyone should be, the oohs and ahs should have happened at the main event with the plunder and the death match. No, they had to bleed early, and that pissed me off. As a wrestling fan, I'm like, I saw that as malicious tape, being assholes.
Yeah, look, I'm gonna be honest. I completely agree, because, and I'm gonna say this: if it wasn't for that specific thing, I actually thought this was a hell of an opening. Except
The match is good.
Except those one count pinfalls every freaking time for the beginning of the match, I couldn't stand. Those are the two criticisms I had of this match. Other than that, I have in my notes right here, I thought it was a hell of an opening match, and I loved that finish where they hit their finisher off the top rope, where Jackson's trying to go up and then he gets caught in midair. They do their kind of 3D version. I thought that was a dope finish. I was like, I swear to God, if he kicks out of that, all credibility. The two things I had the most problem with, they go out the door and I'm shitting all over this. No, they ended it right then and there. I liked the match. The sequences were it's a Young Bucks match, an FTR match. We've seen this how many times? You're gonna get what we have already got. I've got what we expected with the sequences. I thought it was fine, but it is those two things that Kev just brought up here. It is the blood right in the beginning of the show, right in the match, and it's like, this is the one thing that comes out. So Adam Copeland and Christian Cage come out, and it says it confused you. Let's talk about that, because I think that is, I loved the finish, but that is kind of the most thing that people are talking about of this match. I popped. I thought it was cool. I thought, it was cool to see Adam Copeland. Obviously he's one of my favorites as a kid. I'm always gonna pop when he returns or when he comes out. The crowd was hot, but how many times are we gonna see this again? Like we saw in Canada, FTR and Edge and Christian. Again, this is my problem with this tag team division. It's rinse and repeat. And I just talked about this on my review show last Wednesday, and I talked about this with Kev Saturday. A lot of these, it's not just the AEW, okay? It's throughout the entire professional wrestling, but especially in this company, when they're focusing too much on the trios and they have some cool tag teams that could be in this scene, but yet they're recycling FTR and the Bucks, and now they're recycling Edge and Christian. What do you think? What do you think of Edge and Christian coming back?
There's a few there that happened months ago, but they didn't do nothing to rekindle it. Let me ask this: couldn't that waited for Wednesday? Do they have to be on the pay-per-view for? By the way, Christian looks old as fuck.
He looks old as shit, right?
I feel so bad. I'm like, damn, he looks. At least he's not balding. He's not bald. Adam Edge looks phenomenal. He looks like, oh my God, like he hasn't. But Christian looked it old. I felt so bad. I'm like, damn, he should have kept him active on TV or something. But maybe that one should have. Okay, maybe I'll give you that return. I think that return should be okay. I'm okay with that one.
I'm in the middle.
The lights off again, like really? Oh, that's all right. It was.
I'm in the middle, because I can see where people could say you could save this for Wednesday.
No, for Dynamite. I'm trying to talk myself into that one, but
I see. I believe that this was great, that they've done it. Not great because, again, Christian is, but I like the way they did it. But I could see why, because I mean, you do want something with the Dynamite to pop off, because we talk about all the time. I think everybody kind of has this same problem when it comes to these pay-per-views that are relatively good, and this was a relatively good show, other than the negative stuff we're about to talk about throughout. But it was a good show. But are they going to follow up on Wednesday? This would have been like, okay, that's the only thing where you could make a case for it.
Like,
But again, this also gives something to go into Wednesday. That's why I'm in the middle.
because Stokely could have been talking nonsense on the microphone, and then you have Edge and Christian interrupt Stokely, and they come out, and you're like, you would have saved that. Other than, especially if you were planning to have Ronda Rousey come out, because that would have been a big enough. Because now there's so much going on that who cares about Copeland and Christian now? There's nothing really to talk about no more, because they're overshadowing. Because you opened up with Ronda Rousey, you talked it open up around not Adam Copeland or Christian Cage, who, by the way, these are Hall of Famers, not just Christian in two companies, and Edge is a bona fide Hall of Famer, and we're talking about Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, I mean, it again, Edge, and I think Edge and Christian, again, Edge is one of my favorites. I'm not old enough to have lived in that 90s Edge and Christian era, so I'm not going to say they're one of my favorite tag teams, but I appreciate them both individually in their careers, and I agree. But again, I'm excited to always see Adam Copeland, but it's like
it got overshadowed, Chris. Let's face it. It
It's
got overshadowed by Ronda
not
Rousey.
even Ronda Rousey. Will Ospreay. Did you hear
I didn't want to jump over you. You're the host. I didn't want to overshadow and spoil that we were going to talk about that.
I'm going. Trust me. I'm very. Everyone. If you saw my tweet right after, as soon as I saw the thing light up, I was like, it has to be. Now I'll get into that when we get there. But because I don't want to leave Z hanging. Z's asking some good questions here, and I wanted to acknowledge him for being here, and I want to get into some of his questions. So if this review was a little all over the place, that's because a good amount of things happened to talk about and whatever. But yeah, I mean, I agree. It got overshadowed by a lot of things, especially with obviously Ronda and Ospreay. But we'll see what it takes. What happens throughout the next couple of days, if it gets anything.
And this wrestling move. I'm going to hold it, because we saw this wrestling move being bastardized so much over the night, and I'm also, as a wrestling fan for watching over 40 plus years, I'm really disappointed with this move. And I'm going to just say it because I just can't. How is it that we're kicking out at one on power drivers? We show it throughout the course. Power drivers are the most. You're freaking getting a person's head, and you're ramming, and you're sticking it head down, neck down to the canvas, to the apron, and you're kicking out at one. The bastardizing, and not just the Bucks did it, and then the Spike power driver kicking out. No one. I was like, all right, if he's gonna get the Spike power driver, I need either one of the other brothers to break the cover, break the pin, not kicking out. They're not. They have to protect certain certain moves, especially when you're Spike power driving someone. And I have an issue. The match, again, sequence is great. The oohs and ahs of the crowd. That's telling me that they don't give a fuck about the viewers or people watching at home. They're only there to entertain the paid attendance.
Yeah. No, I agree. I have nothing else to add. I think you nailed it, because again, it is to do that. If you're a fan of pro wrestling, if you've been in the business for how long, whatever, you know that's just. I'm not going to get excited about that. Even if I'm in the arena, I'm not going to get excited for that.
The fans did. The fans were hot. Of course, I got to give the credit. The fans
absolutely
brought an energy that was very, very. It's fun to watch. To me, I had more fun watching the fans with their energy and the excitement than the matches.
Yeah, I agree. In my view, the match itself took way too long. I mean, the longest match I've sat through live was about 22 minutes. I mean, it was a kind of an opening long match. I agree, but we'll see what happens. But Z, I'm gonna go to again. This is gonna be a little over the place. I'm gonna go to the main event, because I think a lot of people, obviously in our chat, want to hear thoughts on the MJF and Hangman Adam Page. I want to acknowledge your comment right here. How effective was the Texas Deathmatch main event between MJF and Hangman Adam Page in their in telling their story, and did MJF's victory enhance his reign or hurt MJ Page's credibility? First off, Z, that is a hell of a question.
That's a good question.
That is a hell of a freaking question. I appreciate you asking us that. That is a hell of a question. How effective was the Texas death match? I thought it was. It's a Texas death match. Okay, before we complain about the syringes and any of that, we saw it with Swerve and Hangman. This is a Hangman match. I thought this was a better Texas death match than Hangman and Moxley. I kind of enjoyed this one better than Hangman and Swerve. I think this is
I'm agreeing with the majority. This is their best Texas death match in the company.
This is their best Texas. I was just gonna say that. Boom. See, this is why me and Kev work great together, because he just said what was the next sentence that was gonna come out of my mouth. This was the best Texas death match that this company has ever done. Why, Kev? Because MJF was in it. Now, how effective was this? I thought, besides that press conference, I thought this was the best built match on the card, rightfully so, because it was the main event involving your biggest star and, Hangman, to another big part of your foundation in the company. It was very effective. They told good story. They had no outside interferences, Kev. I told you, I said this on Wednesday, and I told you this. I want to see Swerve come out at the end. Yeah.
I think everybody wanted it.
I took that back as soon as they were in the middle of that match, and I realized we might not get any outside shenanigans in a Texas death match. They're really going to let these two guys just go out there and beat the absolute shit out of each other. I loved it. Now, let's get into your question. That last question, Kev, is the spicy one. Did MJF's victory enhance his reign or hurt MJF's credibility? I'm going to let you answer that one first.
You know what? From the beginning, the video package, seeing MJF come out in that town and pissing on the grave of Adam Page's career of challenging for the world title, that's the story. And with that Texas death match, with all the plunder and all the situation getting that victory, he kind of did. No more his career for MJF. He's had the best dog collar match, the best Iron Man match in the company's history, and now the best Texas death match. He keeps checking out boxes. He's solidifying his All Elite Wrestling stable and career in any match or any type of forum that he's placed in. So for Max, that just elevates his legacy in his career. From Adam Page, I think this is wrestling. They could always get him back in that world title picture. Other people has mentioned about winning a gauntlet match, Owen tournament. But if your stipulation, if they really were to hold this, they're not going to do it. It's wrestling. If they were to hold that he can never wrestle for another title, then he cannot wrestle in no tournaments either for the world title. So I wonder how they're going to play with him. For me, the final scene, him being taken out as a stretcher and MJF holding the title over him, I kind of want to see Hangman off of TV for about 3 to 4 months.
I agree 100%. I especially with that shot of the blood going into the camera and him literally standing. Bro, it looked like Hangman did a great job there. It looked like he wasn't breathing. I was literally watching I was eyeing on my freaking TV at 12:30. Is not a sip. I was like, whoa, dude, that was good. That was good. I think, look, I don't know if this hurts Page's credibility. You could argue maybe in a very, very small way, because he's not able to in storyline wise, he's not able to challenge for the company's biggest prize. And he's one of their biggest superstars. That is the small amount of maybe. But this obviously, it to me, enhances MJF's reign. He is the reason why this company, that people are talking about it, and that people are, it's on fire. It's on fire. I think they've been doing some. It's on fire. I'm not gonna go there. I think they produced a good pay-per-view, and they've been doing some decent television. So they're on the right track. But this guy is the sole reason behind that. And I know you, and you even almost convinced me Saturday that Hangman was going to win this match.
I thought he was going to win it. I thought Hangman was going to win it.
And there were times in this match where I thought he was too. No lie. I really did. But if they want this company to succeed going into their biggest show of the year, which I'm going to transition as soon as Z, I love your comment. I will get into the women's match, but I'm going to have to transition as soon as me and Kev are done talking about this into something different, because this is going to tie in right now with what we're talking about. This is literally going to be the segment next is going to be a good transition. This is going to be a good transition. Hangman or MJF winning, they have to have him as champion going into Wembley. They have to. MJF. They have to have him as your world champion going into Wembley, because you're seeing it right now. Again, like you just mentioned, best dog collar match. I think he's had the best feud. I think he's had the best promo segment. I think he's had a lot of those best in this. He's the sole reason why people even give a fuck. He's the sole reason I wanted to start covering this every night, is because he is making this exciting again. So I'm happy that they made the decision that they made. I really am, Kev, for the long term.
I like what you're saying. So why are we rushing to take the title off for this man?
I would love to know who is rushing to take the title off him.
Because it is the IWC wants. They already
ridiculous.
got Swerve should be the one to win it at Dynasty. Come on. They already booked Kenny Omega. No.
Again, we're going to transit. The next transition's Ospreay. I'm going to put him aside for a second. When it comes to Swerve Strickland, nobody is going to talk more higher about Swerve Strickland than me. I love Swerve Strickland. He has roots here in Central PA. He's a fucking phenomenal pro wrestler. I love his style. I love his swagger. He has what the TikTok people are calling the aura. He's phenomenal. I'm never going to talk shit about Swerve Strickland. I actually enjoyed his match with Brody King. But he is not MJF. He is not the guy to carry this company on his back. He had the opportunity to do it, and it didn't go well. People wanted the title off of him right away. Just like people wanted the title off Hangman. I was one of those people. Just like people wanted the title off MJF right now, like you just said. Swerve had his chance. He didn't move the needle as that main event guy. That doesn't mean he can't be challenging for the titles. That doesn't mean he can't be in a big match, in a big program that feels like it's the most important thing when MJF wants to take a break. You know, if he's doing something and whatever, the champion's taking a break, you know how he is as a heel. If they want to have Swerve Strickland come in there and do something with a big program, if they want to redo Kenny, something, keep going. That's fine. I just don't think he's a guy, Kev, that can carry a company on his back. He had that opportunity, and I love him. I love him to death, but he did not succeed. So I don't want to hear Swerve should be the world champion right now, because he's not moving the needle like MJF is my point.
None of them. They left Moxie for 9 months, who has the biggest WWE name, part of 1/3 of the Shield, and they still couldn't. And people were just to the brink of the company, people quitting and turning off their TVs with the Death Rider storyline last year, because after there isn't anyone really who could solidify it. Samoa Joe, every time Samoa Joe gets it, they immediately remove the title from him. So it's MJF right now, and you know what, sickos, you're not gonna like it. You're gonna have to let him have a long title run. He's gonna have to have a CM Punk 423-day type of run.
I don't know why anybody, I understand if you don't like MJF. For what I don't understand how you do not like MJF. I'm going to be honest right now. I think MJF is phenomenal. I'm putting him top 5 right now and one of my favorites. He's just a promo. No, he's not.
No. By the way, sorry to interrupt you.
No, go ahead.
He has one of the best Iron Man match in AEW history. Add that to the cover of MJF.
I think he has one of the top. That Iron Man match was perfect.
One of the top ones in the company. That's what I'm saying. So it's a dot call, the best dot call. The big Iron Man.
The best match in years and throughout professional wrestling.
I mean, I'll hold Shawn Michaels and Brett to that. But.
No, in the last couple of years throughout professional wrestling. Since like Orton and Cena.
That's what I'm saying. That
is probably the best. I know.
He has a compliment.
Best Iron Man match. That's the best Iron Man match in history. I'm not going back that far, but you get what I'm saying. Phenomenal. People are still talking about that. So
that's adding on to his accolades.
Why he's, even if you don't like him though, for some odd reason, How do you not see the growth in this company
There's
with
money
him as
there.
your world champion?
There's money in MJF. He's the best. Yeah.
Okay, there's one. Now, we're talking about MJF. Who's that one? Let's transition in the Will Ospreay. I've been dying
Sure.
to
Let's
fucking
go for
talk.
it. Let's
I've
go.
been dying to talk about this. First off, Will Ospreay, John Moxley ends the match against Thekla. Let's real quick to go on the Thekla and Moxley match, because I still want to give these
I
matches
still got,
a
let's give
little
it a
bit
proper
of.
because I got a lot of stuff
Yeah,
to say about that one.
right. I still want to give these matches. I still want to talk about these matches. I know there's a lot of moments. It's a lot of stuff. You know, we're getting ready. You know, you just got home. We want to get ready for Monday Night Raw tonight. Big card. So just bear with us. And I appreciate you guys joining, Kev. I appreciate you joining me here on a Monday 3:16 afternoon. Thekla and Moxley. Let's start with that before I go into Will Ospreay, because I'm going to talk about him and the future of him, MJF, all that stuff. They had a match for the Continental Championship. Little key notes. I'm not going to go over the whole match, but just little key notes. They were throwing punches and forearms early in the match, which, you know, you can expect from those two, especially a Moxley. Thekla rocked Moxley with an elbow that smashed Moxley out of the ring early. So again, they're getting out of the ring early. Thekla hit a suicide dive. That I'm like, okay, they're going to spend a lot more time out the ring. This is a pay-per-view. This isn't even like a Dynamite, because I have a lot of problems with these guys going, you know, outside of the ring, and the referee really doesn't say much. So I'm confused, but it wasn't a bad match. They start getting in. They got back in the ring. Moxley hits Thekla with the mean DDT, no cover, all that stuff. At the end of the match, Moxley wins by submission, and the match is over. Real quick, the match was. I thought it was an okay match. I liked it. What would you like to say about the match?
The match was okay. In the beginning, the forearm shots, they weren't really laying. You could see them were pulling. They weren't really giving a little bit of a. There weren't extra mustard on those shots. All right, it's the beginning. I'm fine. But the sequence where Moxley, I'm trying to see if I can find it because I want to watch it.
By the way, Z, I will be with Kev tonight for Monday Night Raw. I will be there on the Rumble.
When Moxley does that power driver, when he does this is why, again, the AEW has bastardized the power driver where everyone, and then I believe he did, then he followed up with another move and then he kicks out at one. Are you kidding me? He kicked out at one from that kind of power driver, that spike power driver, that extra package power driver they gave him at one. And then there was another spot that Thekla counted at one when Moxley hit him with a German, I think a brainbuster, and then he combo, and then he kicked out, but then he hit him with a knee. Then Thekla kicked out and recognized, oh shit, I didn't no sell it, and then he went running and hit Moxley with the knee, and then they died for like 30 seconds. Or to the referee's 10 count. I had a bit of an issue there, psychology wise. Match wise, Thekla is a good wrestler, hell of a wrestler. The one thing I had a problem here, why did Moxley win the title? Why did Moxley hold on and kept the title? If there's a storyline where Thekla and Okada and that on those titles, why? What's going? What was was it a creative control, or was it that they're not thinking Ospreay is, well, maybe they don't want to take the title off MJF and the Ospreay is going that route? Because there is a natural storyline when it comes to Ospreay and Moxley.
That, and I think that's where they're going first before they do MJ. Because here's the thing. And I agree with what you said about all that stuff. But when Ospreay does come out, it does look, he takes out, first off, I said this on Weekly Wrestling, said this on Dynamite, or my reviews. I thought he would just come out and say, guys, I'm on my way back to, like, I thought he would just come out and say hi. I didn't expect him to go out there and actually say, he posted it. He got cleared on May 25th. He was cleared. And he returned last night. That's his official word that he posted on his social medias after the night was over, that he got cleared on May 25th. So first off, that's really fast for his injury. But here's the thing. I don't think they want to feed Ospreay right away to MJF. I hope what I'm about to say they're doing, because I think it would make sense, because I talked about it for the last few weeks, I think, through this whole build, that they had a lot of guys challenging for this world title, ultimately ended up being Hangman. They did a good job with that. It's tough now because Swerve does seem like a heel, and I don't think Kenny should get a title shot before Swerve. But let's say in some way that Swerve and Hangman have a match. If you want to have Darby, if you want to have Ospreay and Moxley kind of finish what they left off to get him warmed up for MJF, I'm with that, Kev. I'm with that. Because I think they would have a good match. They could do that double or nothing, and then that probably or whatever the Owens during double or nothing. I know the finals last year, whatever. I think Ospreay is going to win the Owen and go on to challenge MJF at Wembley. Is the ultimate thing I think Ospreay is doing this year. I think he's going to fight Moxley. Maybe that is the finals of the Owen, and then the winner of that goes on to MJF, and it is going to be Ospreay. Maybe.
And then let me ask this: it got overshadowed because everyone talking about Ronda Rousey, not Edge and Copeland. We didn't even talk about Kenny Omiyeda, who's back. Too
much. Yes, I think
save it for Wednesday.
It's Kenny. They should have saved for Wednesday, and
I agree.
I'll tell you why. Because Kenny, it's not like we haven't seen him in weeks and weeks or months and months. We saw him 3 weeks ago in a banger main event that I covered after the show. So it's not like, oh, I missed Kenny. I love Kenny. You know I love Kenny. I didn't even get a real pop because I was like, okay, we just saw him like a month ago.
Can I ask this?
Yeah.
As an AEW fan, watching Kenny Omega, like you just finished saying, don't you feel disrespected that he said I couldn't wrestle in this card because I was going to do a tournament, but here I am?
Yes.
That's a problem.
I don't even know where I would go with that. I think
that's a problem. He should have not showed up, even if he was stay backstage.
That's why I think it should have been Wednesday. Yeah, no, I agree.
Don't come out.
Yeah.
Don't come out.
Yeah,
because you just disrespected that $1 million gate that you had there. Because I'm pretty sure when they thought the ones that purchased earlier wanted to see Omega, and possibly in there, and then he couldn't. He said no. He chose to go to Capcom, and by some miracle he got there in time. Hallelujah! But still, you feel as a fan, you feel swerved because he just came out. You gotta feel
I agree because he could have. I mean, I think Swerve and Moxley would have been good, or it's not Swerve. Oh my god, a lot of things here. I think Swerve and Kenny would have been good on this card.
Yes,
I agree. Maybe they could have had Kenny win, and then maybe that's like 1-1. Next person wins, and then that's Kenny's a baby face to feed to MJF until they get Ospreay.
Well, you did have to, but they did play it right with the most dangerous man between Swerve and
that's why I like the match.
And Brody.
Right.
And then I wish he would have not just came out. Then Kenny should have not came out. That was a bad optics.
I agree.
That's a terrible optics.
I agree.
And another one that was a terrible optics. Ospreay coming out. That's great. No, it really brought a lot of energy to the crowd. Even though he was cleared, I would have not liked him to do these aerial assaults.
I agree because I think him coming out. This is the reason why I think him coming out on the pay-per-view is actually good because A, we haven't seen him forever. B, I think he's the next. No matter how long or MJF holds, I want him to have a long reign.
Right.
But I think Ospreay is the next one to hold that belt. So,
I don't think he's ready yet. I don't think he's ready. My opinion. My opinion. I don't think he's ready to be the face of the company.
That's why I think he needs this match with Moxley. He needs all the other stuff he can to rebuild him because we all love that he's back.
Yes.
It's no secret. I like him whether people like him or not. But my thing is this: I think he's going to win the Owen. I think he's going to challenge MJF at Wembley, and we'll see what happens. But again, I understand Ronda Rousey coming back might overshadow, but if everyone on the internet's really talking as negative about it and all that stuff, I think Ospreay coming back's like, at least you get a good return or a good taste in some people's mouth. I don't know, but maybe it's biased because of me because I love Will Ospreay, but I don't see
everyone talking. I don't think that was the leading. No one's leading with Ospreay for coming out first. No Edge or Copen. Kenny Omega. I mean, we didn't even mention in the beginning. It's all about Ronda Rousey right now, and that's a problem. It's not a problem. You blew your load. Why is it Tony Khan needs to blow his load immediately on this pay-per-view? Instead of you got a weekly television show for Wednesday, 2 surprises or 3 would have been phenomenal. Like, oh damn, he stacked it up,
What hurt is that it was all in a row. You had the opening match,
yes.
and you had
And
FTO, or you had Edge and come back. You had the next match, and then you had
then with the lights turned off.
Ronda. You had right. Like I think Osprey was. I think you could have done it for Osprey. You didn't have to do it for Copeland.
And then kudos to I want to shout out somebody though. Kudos. I did hear one person today. Shout out to JD from New York, knowing that the doctor that played in the vignette for Will Ospreay was a porno actor, a male porno star. I mean, who the hell knows about her? I mean, JD, I didn't know you were into the male porno industry like that. But kudos to you. He mentioned that on his review because he was when I went to work in the morning, he was live at 3:30 in the morning.
Jesus Christ.
So he knew that the doctor playing in Will Ospreay's vignette was a porno actor.
I'll listen to that later. I didn't want to listen to anybody's shit.
I was like, wow, JD. No wonder why he's the best of the best, you know?
Yeah. What's up, Aaron? How are you,
Aaron, what's going on, Mr. Aaron? Aaron was wrestling. Salute on that. So, yeah, I mean, I didn't...
Yeah, I mean, look, I think he's going to win, though. And I think people are excited to see Ospreay back. I wouldn't have done those moves like you said, but I mean, it's they do got the only positive thing I could really say about it is that they have their stars back. They have Ospreay, they have Swerve, Kenny, MJF. I mean,
boy, I cannot wait to see that women's locker room where Mercedes Moné sees Ronda Rousey in the same locker room. Oof. Yeah, we got we got another issue. Another CM Punk issue. Will Ospreay, see, they only wants to pull that title off of MJF right now. When he's the best, well, if it's not broken.
Look, Will Ospreay is my favorite wrestler in the world, and I'm going to tell you right now, MJF should walk out of Wembley Stadium after AEW.
He needs a 400+ day title reign. Their company will be much stronger. People tune in for him.
I agree.
He is
AEW.
He is AEW. I hate to say it.
He is Mr. AEW.
He is Mr. AEW. No one else. No, and other than Chris Jericho, and he's not. And people wanted, and they wanted him all out.
Yeah, no,
All in is in August. That's right around the corner. That's not that
August,
far.
And they still got their big stadium Double or Nothing in May.
I would think. I think Ospreay, maybe World's End, where that's a
because MJF is gonna walk in out of Queens. Lewis
Armstrong
Stadium, and it's just who's he gonna fucking fight?
Who are they gonna set him up? Who's gonna set him up? Let's talk about the women's matchup because I know CZ's been waiting for a while on that.
Z's been waiting for that for a while. We'll talk about the women's match. But overall, I like the return. It was fine. We'll move on. A lot more to talk about here. Yeah, the women's match. See, this is where I think this should have been the co-main event. This is where I think after this match was over, I think the crowd kind of fell off a little bit. But I mean, I liked it. Statlander was aggressive early. I saw something on Collision where Thekla was like giving her belt wound shots to the back, and she was saving her aggression and her punches for the match. So I guess that was cool. Statlander really started aggressive early, but Thekla takes the first pin. It is a 2 out of 3 falls match for the AEW Women's World Championship. Thekla takes the pin. She's up 1-0. That first pin was weird.
It was botched by the referee. But I get it. But it was quick. Boy, they could find a quick 1, 2, 3. I wish John Moxley's matches was that quick.
I know, right? But Chris Statlander, she starts, she gets up. They start doing their thing for the second fall. The match is tied 1-1. Statlander gets the second pin. The match, or the second spot pinfall, or the third one, excuse me. Thekla wins 2-1. Match was about 18 minutes. This pinfall was about 18 minutes, excuse me. I mean, look, it wasn't Tekla's best performance. I don't think it was Statlander's best performance either. I think Julia Hart and Sky Blue are just wasting their time doing nothing. They're not even like a faction or anything. stand behind Thekla. They're just like Tekla's dummies and puppets.
They needed the money.
They needed the money, right? And then, well, like Sky Blue, I mean, her boyfriend's still there, so whatever. But I mean, Thekla, it wasn't bad. Again, it wasn't dominant performance by either of them. I didn't think Statlander was going to retain. I do think Thekla, she could be the women's champion for a while. The crowd was very quiet most of the match.
Yeah, it did. They were quiet.
They were quiet. But overall, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. But yeah, I don't know, man. What did you think of the match? They just the crowd. I don't know if it was the crowd that was like kind of snoozing. That was
but you know what I felt that you know what I felt that's Statlander's final match in AEW. It just the way she worked, it felt like that's her last. We're not going to see her no more. That's the end of her. I have no reports, no insights. Don't even know when her contract is up. But just the way she worked it, it felt like that's her last, goodbye to the AEW fans. It just felt like it was her final match in All Elite Wrestling. For Thekla, it's just her fashion, her group. She's a numbers game. She has a strong numbers game when it comes to the Sisters of Triangle of Madness with the Sisters of Sin, whatever they want to transform when their powers combine. Where they go from there, they're going to need a number one contender for Thekla. Right now, Mercedes is losing all her randomless titles all over to France and all over the world. She's dropping them for the one title that she hasn't won. I don't know how they're going to tell it. If she's going to defend her own, don't know. I don't know what's next. I don't know what's next for when it comes to Thekla. For me, Statlander's done. I think Statlander's done with the company. I don't know. It just feels like it, Chris.
I just don't see. You might not be wrong. I just don't. I don't see what to what's there to do with her. They're not gonna put a skyrocket on her and make her like the MJF of the women's division. Especially, she can't cut a promo. She gets a gimmick change like every other month. One day she's a badass heel. The next day she's a baby face. Next she's a heel with Stokely as a manager. Like, if you can't get over with Stokely Hathaway as a heel, as your heel manager, I don't know what she's good in the ring. Like, I actually like Kris Statlander. It's really nothing against her. It's her character. It's her development. They haven't done it to her. They haven't done well by her in those aspects, I think, in my opinion.
But here, I don't know. It feels like Statlander, Megan Bain, they all feel like they're big women that don't know. We don't know what to do. You can't give them a microphone because they're not going to talk you in the building. It's like, they're impressive, but it's like they need character development. They need like someone in that company to help them bring out a character. Maybe she is right what she says about needing to tap into a character to pull out. And I hate to say it, NXT will kind of do it for her to help bring that character out. But I don't want her to run over to WWE because she's not working there. If she has a long contract, I mean, if you're in a place, try to make it work. But I don't know if it could work, Chris. I'm at the point where I don't know if it's gonna. What's more does Statlander have to prove? They have given her wins over the top-notch women. I mean, twice Toni Storm, Mercedes, Jay Cargill. She's being a lot of the who's who in the women's division. I don't think she's being what's her name? Britt Baker yet. I don't know if she has. I don't know. I haven't remember. I don't recall.
She beat Cargill when she was in the feeder.
Yes.
And she beat
Mercedes.
Yes,
and Toni Storm.
And Toni Storm. Those are her 3 big wins.
Those are big wins for her.
I give her the credit in terms of
and
that.
They gave her that opportunity, but they didn't allow her to develop and look, let's face it, it's hard for a female to do character work at 9:20 every freaking Wednesday.
Like, that's so. What do you think about Dakota Kai? Z says, I think Dakota Kai needs to hire. She says she could add much to AEW, but what the problem that we're talking about, I think, applies to her.
9:20. Well, what character she's going to do at 9:20 for 10 minutes on Wednesdays? And no one's watching Dynamite. Rousey, with her resting bitchy face that comes out, she's gonna make them force them not to put her on 9:20.
She can speak, bro.
She's terrible, but
when I'm okay, let me
But she'll
let
make
me
you
rephrase
stop.
that.
She'll make you stop what you're doing to listen to her speak terribly. That's what I
Because
think she was.
I meant to say in the sense of she will say whatever the hell she like
Yeah.
is on her. That's what I mean by that. That she's not. You're not giving Ronda Rousey a script. Like if she wants to say
No,
something,
no.
she's gonna say it, and nobody's gonna stop her.
That's why I said
That's what I mean
she
by that.
commands your
Yeah,
attention when she's going to speak, even though it sucks, even though it's terrible,
right.
but she'll
Exactly. Her
command you from stop
deliverance
what
is
you're
tough.
doing. Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Right.
She'll command your moment to give her your moment because she's going to speak. It might not be the greatest, but man, I don't think that the Charlie Dakota Kai, I don't know if she's going to do any good. She might help the company, but they have a plethora of women. What do you think? Do they get more excited for Dakota Kai or Britt Baker returning? The AEW sickos. If you see Britt Baker returning back on television to wrestle for the company, or would you rather see Charlie, aka Dakota Kai? If you
I
had
want
one more
I
slot,
want the woman that I have the action figure right here on my wall, and that's Britt Baker.
I mean,
So, and this is my thing. Like, even it's not just a returning Britt Baker. There's people in this company right now that I think people want to see succeed before a return somebody like a Dakota Kai, and her name's Megan Bain.
Britt is
Britt is
Britt
long gone
is
from
long gone from.
AEW, I believe.
I agree with you.
I
I
believe
agree with
Al.
you.
I
But
believe
but
we
we're
believe.
but we're putting these two ladies because I know I know that the hot thing is bringing the hot free agent in, but you have women within. You have Deonna Purrazzo, who is one of the purest best wrestlers in the company.
She's good.
Much better than Dakota Kai in a wrestler,
She's
and
good.
we're not even using her.
Right, and there's people that they're not being used that people want to see, and there's people that are being used that people want to see in that spot. And because if Dakota Kai comes, people are gonna like yourself are gonna gravitate towards her and want to see her because of who she is and where she's coming from. When Megan Bain should be your AEW Women's World Champion, I don't know if she's ready, but she should definitely be in the position to be the next AEW World, the next big, good AEW Women's World Champion. She's finally starting to fucking speak. And let's get into that, right? They had the Women's Tag Team Championship match.
I'm glad you transitioned to that.
Between Harley Cameron, or it's Harley Cameron and Willow, the Women's Tag Team Champions, versus Lana Cross and Megan Bain. Megan Bain, I knew Megan Bain and Lana Cross were going to win when the pre-show match happened, when Willow won, and I it made sense. It made sense because, and that especially that Willow took the pin because she had that messed up shoulder. She was selling it backstage before they went out. That's fine. That's fine. But it was a short match to put over Megan Bain and Lana Cross. Now, I think Lana Cross, I think she's okay. I'll be honest. I'm not going to sit here and say she's the next whatever. I don't know too much about her. But she looked okay in the pre-show match. I didn't think she looked bad. She could be a good young signee, kind of making her name known in the business through AEW. So maybe that's not a bad thing, especially her getting teamed up with Megan Bain. Megan Bain has a lot of experience. And, she's all over the world. She's probably in Japan right now. Like she's doing a lot of things that I think she can, in a way mentor Lana Cross. So I like that in that aspect, but it was just a short match, not surprised. I honestly think this title change was going to happen during that Dynamite that Penelope Ford got hurt. I think it would have made more sense, especially for Willow, right? So you would have had Willow and Lana Cross going against each other twice in the same night. So it was a good match for Megan Bain and those two, though, as a tag team. It was short, but I didn't have too much of an issue with it.
Now I need the chat's help here for a moment. Who got the pin on the tag team title? Who got the winning pin?
Megan Bain and Cross hit a double choke slam on Willow for the pin. So
Who was the reception? Who was the one?
It was Megan Bain.
Then I need Megan Bain and Willow Nightingale for the TBS title.
I've been saying that. Cross, yeah,
And,
Lana Cross,
it was
yeah,
Cross.
right, Lana Cross. So yeah, Megan Bain power bombed her. Lana Cross got the pin. Yeah, You're right. That came, yeah, because I forgot that they did hit that power bomb spot, and then they did, and the double duty backfired for Willow too. That's a story they could tell. And I look, I might have far fetched when I said about Harley Cameron, but is that something that they could to make Harley interesting, bro? To like, yo, you decided to take double duty at Revolution, causing us our tag team titles. Because I
I don't
know
think
I
she's gonna
might have.
turn heel yet.
I don't think she. It might be very cringy, but I don't know why they wouldn't. Because I look, I when I said it last weekend, I kind of felt, or this past Saturday, I felt back on it because like, no, they're not going to turn her heel. But I kind of think, you know, like what Alan just said, the double duty backfired for Willow. If they want to make Harley Cameron at least feel like somebody who's just not some hot Australian chick that's just in wrestling, try to get her on a story with Willow, and if it sucks, end it. Because what's next for Harley? And I know
You,
people like her.
you're diminishing tag teams though. Unless if you're gonna, I mean, you still got the inspiration.
I mean, you got Julia Hart and Sky Blue. You got
And the inspirations, they needed the
yeah,
money.
yeah. But you got, I mean, you got Julie. I agree. You got, I mean, Julian Sky. That's, I mean, Marina and Rhonda.
I know they know that's gonna happen.
Like, I don't know, but I'm with you. I just,
But one thing I do like, they got rid of the two title hold. You know, a wrestler holding two titles. Like it's yeah. Just I know.
no,
What's next?
I
What's next
agree.
for this women's tag team division? Because Megan Bayne and Lena Cross looks like a real deal tag team. They look
They
they
do.
look they look
They
real.
they look really good, and I just I don't know. Like I said, Ron, I'm just kind of kidding, but I don't know who I would really put to challenge them for that for those women's tag team titles. I don't know.
So you've been saying
Thunder,
that.
they're not going to do Thunder Rosa and Chris Statlander since they've been teaming them or teasing them as
Oh, that
right.
might be something.
Yeah, that might be something.
Unless
Statlander
if
and
she's not,
Thunder
unless
Rosa.
if yeah, if she's, but I don't know because that might be one.
I'm more on a agreement with what you said earlier about Stat, but
I think she's
I think
leaving the
that's
company.
something right. But if she's not leaving the company, I think that's something that they can fall back
Yeah,
on.
because
Or
the reason
Thunder
why,
Rosa and somebody.
as I was asking, like, has Megan Bain been more vocal on the microphone, or where
Yes.
like you?
She's been more vocal with her with her talking and her not in the
Okay.
promo with the mic, but in the vignettes in the backstage. She's been talking. Yes.
Would have liked to see Mark Sterling to do some managerial work with the ladies.
Yeah.
It's because especially the ladies that need more microphone that it's not there. Mark Sterling could be a nice mouthpiece because I'm not going to say Stockley Hathaway because he's with the FTR and they need him. Um,
Yeah. No,
and then you know what? I could see that too. Statlander and Rosa, that probably be a collision match for their first title defense for
yeah.
Megan, and that probably leads to
Megan
Thunder
Bain
Rosa and
yeah, on a
Statlander.
collision. Yeah. Chris, what would you like to see? I mean, she's with TNA for a little bit right now, for a couple like half a year or something. But
A
the
year.
long
She's here
for
for
a
a year.
year, yeah, for a year. Not really, Z, and I'll tell you why. I mean, I don't. I
Winsler and
again, it's
Hayter.
one.
Don't forget, that's the one that's going to beat these ladies. Winsler and Hayter.
Oh, Jamie, yes, Jamie
We
Hayter.
forgot about those two.
Thank you for
Thank you, Aaron.
bringing that up. Thank
Because they
Aaron.
weren't
Yes.
mentioned at all. They weren't mentioned at
They
all
were
in
mentioned,
this.
yeah.
You know?
No, and they've been going. They beat this.
And this is not for nothing. Not for nothing. With all this different plunder stuff, and one thing they should have copied from WWE because they copy everything else. They should have had Winsler because Osprey was in the building. Winsler and Hayter should have been in a suite eating a fucking popcorn, just watching the match. Just because they were too busy showing all the sickos, they show you all the neckbeards throughout the whole show. They kept going to the arena, and you saw all of them look the same. They all look like they were a clone of all the fucking AEW sickos in the arena. You know, so they should have had a couple people sitting in. You know, they should have had them sitting in a luxury box eating popcorn, seeing and watching the match. The ladies, they didn't think about that.
No, I agree.
Planting the seeds.
Where's Saraya been? I don't think anybody wants to see her in 2020.
Saraya is too busy with two other dudes somewhere else.
Dude, sicker in the trios division. They're gonna do that. They don't have a trios women's tag team champion.
You're looking for two others to make a trio.
Brawling Birds will be champs at coming. Yeah, especially with Jamie Hayter
Yeah,
and them being from the UK. Yeah,
that's
I
why I would
agree.
have loved them to see them in a luxury box eating popcorn, just watching them. She's playing with Francesca. Mm, mm, mm.
Aye, aye, aye. So yeah, that is the current state of the women's tag team divisions. But we'll see what's going on there. But I agree with Aaron and Haas Knuckle Bro.
Bro, isn't Tony Storm getting a little tiring? Like she's like freaking mime now. Like
Dude, I know I started off with Ronda Rousey, but let's talk a little bit about that match, right? Between Tony Storm and Marina Shafir. Look, I don't think people were that. I wasn't, at least me, that invested into the match. You know, I like Tony Storm. It's just her gimmick, man, is stuff. And I know you have a big problem with it. I think it's very it's overdue, overdated, whatever word you want to use at this point. But it was a physical match. I mean, Marina Shafir, she's obviously that badass kicky MMA chick that likes to hit for real. So it was a good match, I guess. I had no interest in it. Um, Storm did Tony did a lot of the comedy spots, hitting the boob biting, Kev.
not only that, her feet. She's biting Marina Shafir's feet. She walks barefooted through the whole arena. She's walking barefooted where everyone's dirty feet or dirty shoes and dirty stuff through the whole arena, and she's biting on her feet.
She walked through the crowd in the dirty ass fucking arena where people, oh my god.
That and Moxley licking the blood of Takeshita.
My god.
Does it? I mean, I would be surprised if Renee Paquette ends up divorcing this cool dude. Gonna get her sick with all the blood transfusion of all that crap. She's gonna get sick one of these days.
Dude, I know we talked about that before with Renee and Moxley, where it's like, I wonder, like, not to get too off track here, but it's like, I wonder how she like feels about whatever. Okay, I'm sorry to time out. The downfall of MJF needs to be studied. Dude's still the same he was in 20, same promo, still the same heat. Brings up WWE reference. Yeah, you are completely wrong, brother.
He has some truth with that, but he hasn't been down. He hasn't been downfall.
The WWE references and the cheap heat are the only things that he has, but everybody's doing cheap heat. CM Punk just gave us the definition of cheap heat. Cheap heat. Everybody does cheap heat. It's first off. Second, the only point you make up is the WWE references. Cool. So does everybody, half the other people in that company. Not a big deal. Same promos. Yeah, keep doing the same shit that helps you.
Obviously, people actually people are tuning in, but he is using a lot of recycled materials to a degree. But the people are
I mean, it's MJF. Like I don't know what, like how is he the same? He's people like I don't know how I don't know how you could look at a kid that came into the company that really wasn't on top, trying to get his way up, and then having every year he's evolved. What the fuck what are we talking about? Downfall?
I don't see no downfall. I don't that I disagree.
He's
I don't
improved every single year.
Yes, we just spoke about
I respectfully disagree with some of that. But anyway, real quick, getting into the Tony Storm, I just thought that first part was a little bit unfair and not true. But again, what did you think about Tony Storm and Shafir, the match, besides Ronda Rousey coming out? I didn't care about it.
It was cool off spot. Go cool off. Go have a hot dog. I actually went to take a shower. No, it was actually for the women's tag team match that I went to take a shower. I'm going to take a shower. This is just and I normally am a big champion of women's wrestling. I hate when people say they leave, they go, and all that, so forth.
Yeah. No.
That big package, like, can we stop winning with a roll up? Could we do something different? I mean, it was funny, but I don't know. It wasn't it was a disconnect.
I agree. What other matches do we want to get in here? What is it? Oh, Andrade and Bandito. Let's talk about that one. First off, again, this is a match that I thought should have been a main event of Dynamite. I think it was like 11 No, it was like 10:30 when this match came on because they still had this match went on for a good amount. Then they had the co-main event, which I'm gonna get into next because oh my god, do I want to rip that match apart? Bandito and Andrade. I thought it was an excellent match. It was hard for me to get invested because I'm this is the point now where I'm starting to fall asleep. And it has nothing to do with this match. I've been watching this show since 7 o'clock, getting ready for it, taking notes here for the show, adding some stuff here, thinking whatever, doing a lot of things. So maybe selfishly, that's just a selfish personal reason. But it wasn't. It was a very, very good match. I'm not even gonna say it wasn't a bad match. It was a very good match to have on a card. I just didn't think it needed to be this one. But you know, the Ring of Honor title wasn't on the line. It was not on the line. I think Bandito is your Ring of Honor champion, if I'm not mistaken.
And the commentary didn't say anything about it.
The commentary didn't say anything about that. It didn't say anything about that. But I like this. You know, you give on. I like that it wasn't on the on the line, Kev, because this gives Andrade a win on a pay-per-view, and people aren't saying, "Oh, now he's the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champ or the Ring of Honor World Champion." Why? Like that. And then Bandito or Andrade just going out with the planted women and taking the selfies. That's starting to bore me. I'm gonna be honest. That is starting to bore me.
Those are at the beginning they were independent wrestlers, the ladies. There were a bunch of women independent wrestlers, some of them that we have reached out to interviews and yada yada. Now they're getting OnlyFans, right. Now they're those are paid women to take those selfies and be part of their plans. They're part of the show. They're not actually, single women going to AEW shows. So make sure sickos, they're not single women. They're paid actresses, they're paid women to be there. Andrade is living up to stigma, Latin lover. He's just a Latin lover. That's all it is.
Yeah. No, I agree. Like I said,
personality. It's giving him a little bit of personality, but
I agree.
For me, it seems like you did that with the Loterios. We got to start kissing women now on the side. I mean,
yeah, I guess I'm a little bit I'm not disconnected with Andrade. It's
they put on a good match. They put on a hell of a match.
Put on a hell of a match. It's the fact that I guess the way he came in and kind of came out, and then it was kind of like the way like they had. I don't know. I guess they kind of killed his momentum all because of something stupid. In my opinion,
but there's a chance for him to heat him up. I think he's going to be one of those MJ. I think he's going to be one of those MJF contenders soon.
Yeah.
Maybe in New York. If I'm them, if they're not doing an Arena Mexico show with Andrade, I'm definitely trying to get Andrade in Louis Armstrong versus MJF because there is a lot of Mexicanos in New York that will go see Andrade. Mm-hmm. You got to know your demographics.
Yeah. I agree, man. And dude, they could heat it up too. I just think he needs to get a little more wins and something because he did lose to Hangman for like the number one contender spot.
Because one thing that AEW needs to do, continue the momentum of those high gates. People going in and wanting their pay-per-views or their event shows. You want people coming in there.
Yeah. Haas might makes a good point. You think Andrade should have like a female valet that walks out into the ring like a donkey?
Absolutely.
I like that absolutely, a lot, bro.
But then you're recreating the Selena Vega.
It
worked. It worked.
Fucking mind, bro. I love it. Because Selena Vega, I think that's the best Andrade's kind of been presented.
And they have the girl in the company already. They have the girl in the company. I hope she's healthy. I don't know if she's healthy or not. It should be Layla Gray. Get her out of the top flight nonsense. Get her out of the top flight nonsense because ella Latina. She's Dominican. She's Latina. Okay. She's hot.
That's
she's gorgeous.
What I was gonna say.
And she can speak both English and Spanish.
Okay, yeah, I like that. I like that. I like yours better than mine.
Who'd you have?
I was gonna say Persephone because she. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like
Persephone doesn't need it. Doesn't need to be the mouthpiece and running interference for him.
The only reason I said that is because the CMLL.
No, the reason why I
That's
say
the only
Layla
reason I
Grape,
said it.
okay, she's not really
I
she
didn't know she
wrestles,
was. I
yes,
didn't know she was
but
Spanish.
yeah, she's Dominican.
I did not know that.
Yeah, she's Dominican descent, and she speaks Spanish. So she's the one that will be a nice one. A nice. She's already in the company. You don't need to bring another woman outside, and she's still recovering for her knee, and she's not ready to be physical yet. She could still be a perfect with Andrade, where yeah, kind of like she like I kind of would like to see her like a Sherry Montel, like like the way Shawn Michaels, like Sherry Montel fell in love with Shawn, and she was stalking him a little bit,
Yeah,
and
no,
she,
I
and
agree.
that could be something they could use storyline wise. She's all him in the locker room, and now she's just falling in love with him, and she's stalking him, even though she's a married woman. But I mean, just storyline wise.
Z's asking you, Kev, who's Solaruka? He keeps hearing her name. I don't know her. She's
She's
a up
in
and coming.
NXT.
She's an NXT. She's somebody to look out for in the main roster. Z. Z,
She's gonna
just
be
know
wrestling tomorrow
Z,
for the
Z,
title.
yeah. Z, just know I respect your opinions, man. I'm not, like, I respect everybody's opinions in the chat. This is why we love doing these. We want it. This is why we want you guys to do in the chat is to give your
Yes.
opinions. It makes for better conversation. If we agreed on everything, this would be so boring. Like, keep doing your opinions, dude. I respect it. We can disagree, and I there's a lot. I think we agree, all of us, more than disagree. So, keep voicing your thoughts in the chat, guys. All opinions are respected. We can debate. That's why we ask some of you guys to come on, and vice versa, so we can have these conversations. So I agree. But yeah.
Let me ask this one here. Were you
Okay.
surprised at the trios titles changing? Hand?
Oh, the Mystico. Yeah, we can get. Yeah. No, I was not surprised because I think the plan was yes and no. I was yes and no, and the reason yes is because the Don Callis family, they're like they're a faction, right? They're a legit faction, legit trios you could really, take seriously since it does seem like they are trying to get that division kind of going. But the reason why I kind of like it is because, I mean, I clearly they see Jets, they don't see Kevin Knight and Mike Speedball Bailey being a tag team together. That's what I'm getting out of this, bro. It feels like they need somebody to work with these two guys for some reason. I mean, I like it because I like, Jet Speed and Kevin Knight, or Bailey and Kevin Knight. They'll be on TV more. I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to name positives, but the reality is, Kev, I'm not a fan of these fucking titles. They are so
Oh no.
unnecessary. The only benefit that comes out of these trios tag team championships, bro, is that the matches are good, and I don't care. I know that there's so many good. I understand that. I don't think there's been a trios tag team match that has been bad, but it's unnecessary. Trios, in my opinion, and I might sound so stupid, I don't think a trios tag team needs to be a division for championships. To me, I've always felt like a trios match was between 6 people that hated each other, 3 people that were the good guys, and 3 people that were the bad guys, and they all wanted to collide against each other. Boom, boom, let's team up. I don't think it needs to be a division where you're stuck as a tag team winning championships, them 3. Does that make sense?
No, I understand what you mean. I understand, but he's trying to revamp something that's not there. And they have it everywhere. Other than that's something that WCW or not WCW have it, or NWA had it. Mid South, CMLL has it. Ring of Honor has it. It's just I don't know. It's just I'm having a hard. It kind of overshadows the tag team division. It makes the tag team division because I think if people will be more excited if it was Jet Speed teaming as a tag team champions rather than a 6-man, because they have something. Jet Speed looks like something more in common. It's hard to find 3 people that have something all in common.
Yo, this guy's kind of throwing some good stuff our way today.
Yeah, no, that's
Kevin,
Kevin Haas Knuckle Bro is a good friend of Aaron Loves
okay.
Wrestling. I appreciate him
Oh,
on
okay.
X. He does a hell of a job on X following us. I follow him and definitely
I
on that.
think I
So
do
appreciate
follow
him.
him as well. Yeah, but he's throwing some stuff that I'm
Yeah, I
like
love it. I love it.
I'm
I love
liking.
it.
Kevin Knight heel
Kevin
turn,
Knight turn on
Speedball
heel.
would hit hard. Kevin Knight and Swerve with Nana can be a strong. He's
Ooh,
not
yeah.
wrong, bro. He's not. I think that would give Kevin Knight, because look, I didn't. It's not that I had a problem with Kevin Knight, and we talked about this, and I talked about this too on my own, where it's like I don't have a problem with Kevin Knight and MJF necessarily having a match or having a whatever. I just don't think Kevin Knight was there yet to be in that position. And I think with somebody like Swerve, this is kind of what I'm thinking a little bit of like I just said about Lana Cross and Megan Bain. I don't think Jet Speed working together is going to get them up. I think Mike Bailey needs to. He's having great singles matches. Why the hell is he in a tag team?
But may I ask this question though? Are you guys wanting to boo Kevin Knight? What's the reason why you want to boo Kevin Knight? If he's a heel, you got to find a reason to hate him and boo him. I think people love him. I think people want to cheer him and want to. Why upset the apple cart if people love Kevin Knight right now?
That's a good. I agree. I
I
agree.
mean,
I
I like
personally,
the idea of him turning
yeah, that's what
on
I'm saying.
Bailey.
I
Yes,
personally
It-
would like that, but the demographic, I agree.
people right now want to cheer him. They're excited to see him.
Yeah.
They want to get on their feet to watch this guy wrestle. Um, that's what I'm asking on the other side of the coin. You got to be careful if you do that because you might, as a heel, you're going to lose people to want to cheer him, and you want your heels to get heat, not cheered. So it's a tough one. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. I don't. I like it, and I say I don't like it, and I don't know. If, I don't think Speedball has. I don't remember Speedball working heel with the in
No,
TNA.
he's always been a baby face. That's what I'm saying. Like that's why I think
Maybe he's the one.
who
If he's putting on banger matches
yeah.
for Speedball to be the heel.
Yeah.
Because
That's
he's always worked as the baby face, and
yeah.
really, how much is ceiling? If we talk about Speedball Bailey's ceiling, it's upper mid card. We're not seeing him in the world title picture.
Right. My fear is that if Speedball does turn heel, I would be kind of concerned that even that higher mid card status would not be taken away, but I feel like people weren't kind of like him now. I'll tell you why. Because I think Speedball, like just the way I've seen, like, because he vlogs. So it's like when you vlog, you kind of know somebody's personality a little bit. His personality, like, he's a non-binary dude. Like he's very like like it's kind of like Willow. It's kind of like why I can't see Willow turning heel. It's because she's so fucking nice.
Yeah, she's
That's
all
kind of
in
how
all
I
baby
feel with,
face.
that's how I feel with Speedball. And I think Kevin Knight has that could have that natural like heel instinct in him.
Which is the most shocking?
Speedball, in my opinion.
But if it's not broken, don't fix it. But that's all. I will keep that as a in my back pocket. Like if I need to
Yeah.
use
No, I
that,
agree. I agree.
I could do that in my back pocket. I could use that in my back pocket because
Z,
Speedball.
I just want to let you know I wear this hat all the time.
Oh yeah, except
except
for TNA.
except for TNA. Except for
Because
TNA.
we were told by TNA upper management not to
Except
be
for
wearing that for
TNA.
TNA content.
All watch alongs. Dude, I think I wore this on the Raw watch along last week. So yes. But yeah, I like that. They should keep that in their back pocket for sure. Because Speedball's having good matches. So if you can get him some personality, who knows? Maybe TNT champion at the most. I'm not saying
I can see that.
AEW champion.
No, I can see that. I can see him being a mid card TNT champion, or now with the State Farm's state championship, whatever the hell that's called, the one that Ricochet lost. Oh,
Yeah.
I think him and Jungle Boy Jack Perry will have a good one on one. But again, if they're stuck on a AAA and if they're stuck on a trios, it's gonna. I kind of want to see if you're in trios. I kind of wanted you to stay there. I don't want to see the singles. Going after a singles title and you're holding two titles.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree, man. It's an interesting one for for these guys. Yeah, the national championship. That's the one that
No, I knew that. I just refused
so
to call it
many.
national championship.
So because Okada, I think Okada still has like the content. I don't know. So those 3 championships.
One has the Continental Breakfast. The other one has the
international, whatever.
The All Pacific.
Yeah, that was changed. It's so confusing. I have AEW and NW flag TNA.
Yeah, we see that, and I need a TNA flag. I need Ross. I need them to send me a TNA banner.
I'll take whatever. Dude, I have AEW merch. I have I'm wearing a fucking Austin 316.
I need TNA banner. I didn't see one.
WWE light. Like I like everything. I have it.
Yeah.
If TNA's website wasn't so kind of weird with their shipping and stuff, I want to get one. So we'll see. Yeah. It's
so many belts all over the place.
Let
me ask this here. Let's talk about the pendejo match. We gotta talk about those pendejos.
That's the last match. That's the last match of the card. That's why I trust me. I was saving. Now I'm not gonna forget about that one,
bro. That match was put on just because Finlay needed a match for television on a pay-per-view because that would have been embarrassing. You didn't even put him in a pay-per-view. That's all it was.
I agree. Yes.
And Connors took the pin. Like really? Why? Like he's there to take the pin. Why on his debut in a pay-per-view they lose? The War Dogs lose. Or the Dogs.
Boy, did you read my mind again, because that's exactly what I'm gonna start off with. This is the last match of the card that we went over. Keep your comments going. We will talk about some other stuff here at the end if you guys want to talk about them. But I gotta say this. I agree, bro. I agree. Darby and friends. Darby, I know. So I heard somebody else say that.
Pendejos are us.
Pendejos are us. I mean, can we give a shout out to the I mean, you just had clowns everywhere. You had this Mark. Yep, take those glasses off. I want to punch you in the fucking face right now. Just seeing that, I want to punch my screen. I hate that guy as a wrestler. I agree. There's no way the fucking War Dogs should be losing their pay-per-view debut. This again should have been on Dynamite. I know I said another match. I forget what it was. That could have been the main event. This probably could have been your main event because they have been wrestling on Dynamite for the past couple of weeks. It wasn't not a bad match. You know what I'm surprised, Kev? I don't remember there being blood in this match.
No, there weren't.
For Gabe Kidd not to freaking bleed in a match.
No, wait for Wednesday. They're having a casket match. Pendejo versus Gabe Kidd.
So why the fuck did we get this match last night?
Exactly. At 11, was it 11:15?
This was the co-main event. This is the match that you had people sit through before the main event, the match that everybody wants to watch, the match that is it was a good show, but that's the reason why I spent the $24.99 to fucking watch it and cover it. It's because of the main event. And I had to watch Pockets and his little posse go out there and have a physical good match. Whatever.
Roderick Strong at 11 o'clock. Oh, baby, on a Sunday night.
Come on.
Roderick Strong. Watching the Mr. Charisma.
Classic. I missed the World Classic for that.
You would have seen Dominican Republic strike 3.
Anyway, I missed that crazy game for whatever controversial ending for this for fucking Pockets. Oh my God, give me a break. Darby needs a refresher. I agree. Kev, Darby needs a refresher because this is the problem. Him, as much as it's all cool, him climbing Everest fucked his AEW run.
I'll tell you one thing. Look this up. No se puede corregir a la naturaleza lo que nace pendejo. Jamás nunca endereza.
Guys, go
nope.
Look that.
Mm-hmm. That's Darby Allin. That's Darby Allin.
Like, come on. I like Darby, but this match was a down. Dude, is this Darby? This is again. The match was fine. You guys know how I feel about Orange Cassidy. I don't even want to talk about him. But my thing is this, bro. Like, but I love Darby. Like, I know you don't like him. I know I like to chime in with the pendejo jokes because I relatively agree now, but I really like Darby. I think, again, he resonates to the young fans that you see with their face painted. He's a different character. I think his stunts are stupid, but that's not the point. I want to see Darby Allin at least try to be that guy for a minute or two. But I have no hope. Especially what they did with him after him making his return on All In the main event. I have no hope. Aaron, that is the one of many reasons why I don't like Orange Cassidy.
The dogs will beef with the Death Riders. Let's hope. But they have good friends though, weren't they? Good friends with Moxley and
that's what I don't understand. They don't.
Then explain it.
They treated Gabe Kidd like an unofficial Death Rider member, and
yeah.
And now that Clark Thekla gets her boyfriend in the company, they completely forget about that, and now they want to do their New Japan tag team in AEW. I don't enjoy comedy acts in the middle of my professional wrestling. I don't want to see.
I don't mind it.
Es una mierda. Es una mierda.
I don't want to see that in the middle of my guys. Watch this clip. I'm sorry if I'm overdoing these, but watch this.
Coño, el que hizo esta mierda, pero que por favor, que ojalá se haya muerto gritando delante de su mamá. En...
¡Pura verga!
Did you guys see that? Did you see him putting his pockets and acting like a fool in the middle of a wrestling ring in this match? That's why I don't like Orange Cassidy. I don't like comedy angles in my fucking professional wrestling.
Oh my God.
No, I am not.
Poor.
Thank you. We got somebody that agrees with me. Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy is terrible. Universe. Salute, brother. Universe. What's up? How are you, brother? Thank you for
what's going on.
Thank you for joining us here on a Monday afternoon. So that comment has me thrown off right now. But
I do gotta say, I'm gonna say this: the pay-per-view right now has only been 4 so far. The better one of the year because of it's more because of the fanfare and the excitement. The Rumble was sucked in Saudi Arabia. It blew. And then the Elimination Chamber had 4 matches and a crate. This one was pretty good compared to all those. Compared to all the WWE ones, but don't sleep. And I gotta put respect on Genesis.
I enjoyed Genesis. Genesis was fun.
That was fun, but this was a little more slider better. And me being a TNA fan.
Yeah, I actually didn't say this in my opening, statement here because I really wanted to talk about Ronda, but so far, sitting here on 3/16, I gotta say this is the funnest pro wrestling show of the year that I watched. Again, I was tired. I think a lot of matches shouldn't have been in there. I think it went way, way too long, but I had fun watching it. I mean, still keep in mind of all the stuff we talked about in this last hour and 50 minutes, but overall, we got returns, right? I think people in the community are complaining that companies like to play shit too safe and they don't want to do exciting things, whatever. We got that. We got this. They threw it to us too much. Yes. They should have saved some of it. Yes. But if I'm talking about just this show alone, not talking about anything else, I have to give this show a really, really, really good thumbs up. I enjoyed it. Even the matches that took long, even the matches that I didn't want to see, I enjoyed majority of it. I'd give it an 8.5 out of 10.
To me, this was a broken clock. A broken clock is correct twice a day. If these days now, when wrestling fans, if they don't have all these surprises, it's not good. It felt like you got back in the time machine And because you got all these newcomers or these new surprises with lights off 4 times in a row, all of a sudden the event was great. That's just me. It had a lot of its fault. It was very long. It was 5.5 hours. We talked about the bastardizing of wrestling moves, but the fans enjoyed it. The crowd, and we're talking about they possibly found a woman that could be a needle mover that could help them get more eyeballs alongside MJF to help out. So yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Aaron, we did speak about that. Was the first one we spoke
we
about.
did.
Yes.
We did speak about MJF and Paige because a lot of you guys in the chat wanted us to talk about that.
And I'm not gonna try to tamper expectation when it comes to the WrestleMania card because it hasn't been filled.
Right. I'm not even gonna get it. You could check us out on Saturdays for us when we talk about the WrestleMania card
because it hasn't been filled and we don't even know what match is on tonight. We don't even, and I don't want and we want to give the AEW the proper adequate time. They just talk about it, not go about it quickly and move on to another company. Just give AEW this full. It is an AEW review. We didn't mention nothing about the other companies, nor TNA, nor WWE,
No.
even though TNA has big news, but we'll talk about that when we go live on Raw at 7:45.
No, I think it's respectable big news, bro. I don't mind talking about it real quick. They're iHeartMedia, TNA Wrestling. Good. I love it. The floor is yours, bro.
No, that's a great move for TNA. Carlos Silva continues to do things that he says, always improving the company in short-term goals, 3, 6, 9 months. Now, they have their digital they have their medium rights. Now they have the iHeartRadio. Their ratings came out in increase. Again, they passed over the 250,000 viewers for the past Impact Zone. So Thursday Night Impact was great, and we got some good stuff coming up with TNA and our channel and our brand. So I can't to when we get some confirmation, some things set in stone, we'll let you guys know. But be on the lookout. We got some good stuff in collaboration with TNA and Anthem. So I love that there.
Yeah, no, I love TNA, man. Everybody knows I love TNA. Look, I'm not one-sided. That's why I appreciate guys like Aaron. I like what they're doing, man. I like what they're doing. Gives other people some opportunities, if you know what I'm saying there.
Yeah. 260. Excuse me, I shortchanged them. 260,000 on AMC this past Thursday.
That's really good. That's really good. They're the good thing about them is they're consistent. They've been very consistent, and it's way more. If their ratings do go down, it's not even
maybe 230. 220,
right.
Maybe lose a couple of 20,000s, maybe that. Look, when we had Carlos Silva on and we interviewed him, and if you haven't checked our channel out, we have making it so easy for you. TNA section on the Sports Jedi Network, and you see all our interviews with all the different talents from TNA Wrestling, from Carlos Silva to Mike Santana, Nick Nemeth, Frankie Kazarian, Santino Marella, Steve Macklin. And the list goes on and on with some great TNA wrestlers on our channel. So, and also be there. We were there at Slammiversary and all that good stuff at the pay-per-view here in Orlando, Florida, this past November. No Surrender, and of course, we have a good rapport with TNA Wrestling. They've been very nice and kind with us and great with us. So that's why we got some good stuff coming up with them. And yeah, TNA is one of our favorite TV show, whether it's pre-recorded or live. It's just we are just totally 100% behind the TNA brand, because watching them from changing their name from Impact to TNA was a big deal. Being on that live stream when that happened was a great moment for us watching it. But let's wrap up here, All Elite, because we got to get ready for the next.
We got to get ready for Monday Night Raw here. So overall, guys, wasn't a bad show. If someone asked me, hey, Chris, do you think I should go watch Revolution?
I say yeah.
I would say yes.
In parts.
I would say yes. So I love it, man. I love it. I appreciate everybody in the chat. We are going to say good nights. Get ready for Monday Night Raw. Z, Aaron, Universe, Alan, Randy Orton. I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. Everybody.
Don't forget to check us out on the Rumble app. Where you're gonna be able to, we do the watch alongs where you can see them wrestling, not just us watching and talking. You're actually gonna see it with us on the Rumble Kickback Force Jedi Network. We always put the link in our YouTube on our X page, so you can watch us and to the link to bring you directly to us. You're actually going to see it. Not only I know you can watch it at home, but we ask you to watch it together so we could conversate on the same way we're having conversations. That's why we do the watch-alongs, just to have that community of conversation of what we see at the moment. We're not, Playback went out of business. They closed down.
Playback went bankrupt, brother.
They went bankrupt. They were paying too many Gilbert Arenas and Della Vitazes.
Yeah, unfortunately, man. But yes, check us, like you said, check us on the Rumble. We're there every watch along. You'll see us. You'll see the footage. Let's have a fun time. So with that being said, guys, again, I want to thank not just our friends and collaborators, also Dude Wipes, Blackout Coffee, G Fuel Energy. Thank you guys for supporting the channels. You guys make sure to go support them. We always want you guys to support people, support brands that support us here at the Sports Jedi Network. So we're going to get ready for the watch along. Thank you guys for being here. Kev, thank you for joining me on this review.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate it, brother. And we'll see you guys later tonight.